You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. And you have found good in abundance because you have tuned in conscientiously to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, known as the Ambassador of Joy. Notice I didn't say the Ambassador of Joy. The Ambassador of Joy. And you tuned in here for one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world, because you care the most in the entire world about you. That's right, Y-O-U. And that's great, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. So we need you. And you know, you tuned in and you're sharing this with your family and friends. Thank God. We now have 500,000 people listening every week, and you're going to meet two of the most interesting, upbeat, visionary people you've ever had the pleasure of interacting with in just a few minutes. So you're just going to be rewarded all this. And the reason you tuned in, of course, because you know, on this show, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you use these three fundamentals, you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Now, what are the three fundamentals? Number one is life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. In this case, a good number two. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. That's right. Simple example. Right now, this show is carried over the internet. Ask anybody, what does WW stand for? Invariably, they'll tell you it has to do with the internet. Now, factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? WHETA. Of course, a tip of the hat to Louis Armstrong, enabling that song to go viral and touch not just tens of millions, 100 million, billions of people around the planet. Whenever you hear the opening bars of what a wonderful world, what do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you can internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed. My neck's down, called being a quadriplegic. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease that took over my body and caused me to be completely paralyzed. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't move. I couldn't turn over. Couldn't do anything. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips to my ankles. That was progress. I had that for years. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a tripod, not a biped. I still can't walk up a curb by myself. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I've helped 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I know some people right away raise their hand and say, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. You have water, drink, you have food, a place. You have family, you have friends. Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're here listening or watching, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to the full, to live exuberantly. I want to tell you a quick story, though. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago and she says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile, S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her how come. She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. What was she doing? She was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a fabulous acronym. It stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. You're going to learn about this because we call this a shift in perspective. Now, I've been working with people for more than 5 decades, and I can tell you 97.2% of all the people I start working with, they drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens. So you're going to be careful with your F. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. And guess what happens? You can now internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your path in life and the trajectory. Now, before we bring on our amazing guests, Alexa and Carlos, woo, get ready. I want to warn everybody, especially Alexa and Carlos, that I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word, and I do it because of the shock value and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, play, pray, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, that's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends. I want you to point your finger at everybody, twinkle in your eye, and smile on your face. Say, F you, everybody. Now that you got their attention, remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Where'd you get that? So I listened to Barry Shore. He had all these amazing people, Alexa and Carlos. I got to tell you all about it. You need to get people's attention. Now you can share with them. So before we bring on amazing Alexa and Carlos, I want to urge everybody to do the following. I want you to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. And you do this, and I guarantee you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. What are these 2 words? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Therefore, be kind always. KIND is a great acronym that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of any 2 people anywhere in the world that I want to share with you that inspire noble deeds more than wonderful and fabulous Alexa and Carlos Penavega.
What's up? What's up?
Please say hello to 503,613 people around
Woo!
the world.
Hello, hello.
We are so blessed to be in Barry's presence. What a joy. Truly.
Wow, joy. That's right. By the way, joy is a great acronym, kids, that stands for Journey of You. That's what joy is, Journey of You. So those of you who are watching right now saying, wait a minute, I know those 2 people. And if you're only listening, you'll hear by their voice. So I'm not going to tell you all the things that they've accomplished, even at their ripe young age, because we'll take the rest of the show. But suffice it to say that, yes, they are media stars. Okay, let's talk about it. Alexa's famous, of course, for being on Spy Kids franchise. And Carlos is famous for being the guy in Big Time Rush. And they were on Dancing with the Stars and all kinds of other things. But their greatest claim to fame, in my humble opinion, they believe in God. They have a family. They have 3 kids here, 1 in heaven. And they're just wonderful, giving, devoted people, devoted to what we call a vision with a purpose. So let's just jump right in and begin talking about what is it you want to do in life, because you're superstars, you have people's attention. How do you bring that love of life through your relationship with the good Lord into entertainment? Who wants to start with that?
Man.
Gosh, what
Thanks
an
for
intro.
the intro,
What
Barry.
an intro.
Well, listen, I just want to say we're living the American dream right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally, we did it. I mean, I'm a son of immigrants who came over, and here I am,
Same.
35 years later, we got, we're doing the thing. We got married, this is year 12 for us. We have, beautiful children. We're living in a house and have the opportunity to own a home and create business. And that is the American dream. And I feel like people have lost that. Now it's about self and me and me and me. And I'm like, no, dude, like the American dream was to come and to build and to love and to prosper.
Can I pick like the key word here?
Go ahead.
To serve.
Ooh,
I
come on,
feel
babe.
like that is our biggest purpose, is to serve.
Yes.
And God put us in such a unique position and in a cool way to serve. We love to do it in so many different ways. We love storytelling. We love entertainment. It's just an area that the Lord just like really guided us early on in. And we feel really called to serve people in that way, amongst many other ways, but really to just bring entertainment that moves people, that fills their heart, that's very kingdom hearted. I think, the movies that we see now have just been not good. I'm sorry. They're just not, it's hard to watch movie and TVs nowadays and TV shows nowadays. It's just not the same, doesn't have the same feel good. And our goal is to really rework that and bring that back and bring family movies and TV back together. Quality family movie and TV.
So let's call it Good For You Entertainment. How's that? Is that a cool?
I love it.
Is that a
I
cool?
love
I
it.
love it. You
Can I
use your
steal
homework.
Can I steal that name?
So tell us what. Okay.
Boom.
Okay,
There we go.
There
Okay.
we go.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got mine. Yeah.
Good For You Entertainment. So
Yes.
the ability to touch the very essence of the human and make people aware that there is something that every human being can contribute in this world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That part of what I don't even want to call it a mission. Let's call it a vision.
Yeah. I
You know,
love
your
that.
vision is, like you say, vision with purpose.
Yeah.
Let's put these two things together, because you have people's attention. You're young, you're dynamic, you have children. You are doing that which calls for service. There's no higher service, in my humble opinion. I married 47 years, so I can tell you, than marriage.
I agree.
Marriage is the true testing ground. The good Lord himself said, I'm going to send you a wife that's going to be right next to you. And she's either going to be the one that's going to be like sandpaper, smooth you out, or she's going to, sharpen those.
So true.
Yeah, right.
So true.
It's so.
We were chatting until 2 a.m. yesterday, and literally it ended with me being like, I believe in you so much, because he's unreal. He's just so unreal. And I wish people could see all the things that I see in him. He's a genius. He has such vision. He has so many great ideas. He works so hard. He volunteers nonstop to do good for people over and over and over again, whether it's reciprocated or not. He just has so much goodness in his heart that, last night I was challenging him in a few areas. And I'm like,
I said, I want to sleep in another room tonight.
and I told him, no, we're going to pray together right now. And I'm like, and the reason I'm telling you these things is because you are so good in all these other areas that I have this expectation of you, and not as a wife, but as like the way God sees you and what you offer the world. I believe that it's time for you to level up, kind of thing. And it's hard to level up. It's hard. It requires a lot of work and internal work, and that's just the hardest. But I felt like we had really good breakthrough last night.
Yeah, it was great.
So the timing of you being like, the wife is sandpaper, I agree to that.
Well, I want to share with you, in the form of a question as well, the understanding that service is the highest calling.
Come on, yeah.
Enables a human being to go beyond self. And there are two levels to self. Self is a great acronym. You can either be understanding that that you're a soul experiencing life fully.
So awesome.
That's a higher self.
Yeah.
It can also be the self that seeking excitement, losing focus. If you're always seeking excitement, next thing, okay, let's go. There's no focus.
There's no
Yeah.
focus.
And I can tell you, as a man, this is
No, I was gonna say, no, hold on. Yesterday in church, we also talked about how there's a difference between stewardship and strategy. I feel like we're always trying to strategize, and the next thing, and God is like, whoa.
To steward.
I'm
Right.
giving you something to steward. Do you trust me or not? Are you just gonna strategize? What's next? What's this? What's that? What's this?
because that's the lower self. The lower self is always there. That internal struggle of excitement. I need more. Okay, it's what we call the shiny object syndrome, right? SOS, shiny object syndrome. So the genius of what your wife just shared with us, and this is, again, thank God we have 500,000 people listening, and I urge everybody, share this with 5 people. You want to do 50 or 100 this at least 5, so we touch 2.5 million people, is that for a man to have his wife tell him that he's appreciated, that he can accomplish, there's nothing greater.
Yeah.
Zero. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could be on stage in front of 100,000 people in a stadium. If you don't have that love, that trust, that channel that's coming in from the one that you dearly love and trust, it's all for naught.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. Okay, that's me. So I want to ask you, Carlos, because you are the performer in the sense of a band. What's it called? Angels and Kings, right?
Oh, it's my new band. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about performing and being in a band and what that means and how that charges you, knowing that you are in service when you're singing.
Yeah. So, this is a big one to unload. So my first band, I'd say the most successful one at the moment is Big Time Rush. And we perform in front of hundreds of thousands of people every year.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's great. I didn't get to choose these guys. We were put together for a TV show and it formed a band. So over the years, you change as a person. I got married early. I guess, back in the day,
23, that's young.
Right. No, it's a good age.
In the industry,
it's early.
Yeah.
Right. And I had kids and, people grow apart and my values are very different from the rest of the guys. And, I love them like brothers. We fight like brothers. Like we are literally brothers until the end. But that doesn't mean that we agree on everything. And I think in that situation, it is hard to be part of something with people that don't share the same values. And I think I started my other band, Angels and Kings, for that reason, because I wanted to create music and be part of something with people, with someone who had like-minded. Because then when you do business with people who are like-minded, things tend to go a little bit better. I'm not saying that they're easy, but you start treating people differently. The decisions you make on the content that you want to put out is very different. Somebody said something recently to me during a podcast that I'm a part of that hasn't come out yet, but it's called Truth Be Told. And we go back to the Bible for everything. So these aren't our opinions. We're just like what do the scriptures say? Let's talk about everything and go back to the scriptures. And we had this one guest on and he's also a big performer in the country world. And we were talking about when you go on stage, you have all these people holding their arms out at you and they're essentially worshiping you. Right?
It's weird.
And it's weird. And I think, for me, coming from somebody who the only, person that I worship is God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. Like, I'm like, those are the only three that I'll put my hands up for like that. To go on stage and not be a believer and have people worshiping you, it's kind of
idol.
It's like a drug. You become this idol, right? And I see it left and right in the entertainment industry, especially as an artist. Like people, they love being that.
It feels good.
It feels good. Like they love being that idol. And I think for me, just kind of going back to your initial question, it's like being an artist and being a performer. Seeking God in my life has really helped me because I don't make it about me anymore. Like I'm just trying to be a light on stage to serve and then redirect that light back up to God. So to me, I'm not soaking it in going, look at me. I'm like, okay, thank you. Look at how awesome God is. Okay, thank you. Look at how awesome God is. Okay, thank you. Look at how awesome God is. And
that's hard to do.
That's really hard.
Oh yes. Otherwise, you're right. You're in the golden calf world, and you don't want to be there.
Well, and you know what me and this guy were talking about. I said, look, if I sat here and was like, no, I just direct it all to God, it feels good. to have people want you, it feels good. You want your wife to want you. Like you
it like validates
celebrityism.
you.
Is that a word? Celebrityism. Like
It is now.
people want to be a celebrity because they want people to want them, right?
Yeah, or want to be like them.
Yeah.
Or
We've always put our foot down and said, I don't like being in the limelight. Like I enjoy being a vessel for Jesus. I love it. But being in the limelight and people worshiping me, it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, stop.
Okay, on this point, let's pause here for a moment. This is so wonderful. Everybody's on the edge of their seat, leaning, saying, what are they talking about? I love this thing. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting. We have people, sponsors. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worth your time and attention. So we'll be right back after this brief message with more Alexa and Carlos channeling to the Lord. Be right back after this brief message. Don't go away.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist. And what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Any business leader who has stood in front of potential investors can tell you, creating a vivid, compelling vision of the future can be the difference between bankruptcy and billions. If you can move people with words, you can practically will things into existence. Something that seems impossible can be made to seem inevitable. But not with bullet points, with a well-crafted and well-told story. I spent 30 years in advertising, creating stories for giant brands, universities, and governments, and changing people's hearts and minds. And over those years, I accumulated a treasure chest of insights about how to entertain and inspire and move people. And I think I can teach you. Can you think of a tool more powerful than human speech? See how your value changes when you start to master the oldest human art form.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe good looking. She's always looking for and finding the good. Our cup runneth over with good. Two amazing, dynamic, wonderful, loving people, and named Alexa and Carlos Penavega. And we're coming back, and we've been talking about life and service and on stage. And I'm going to make a simple statement. I think it's everybody understands it intellectually. I want you people to understand it in your heart. Everybody is a celebrity. Everybody's a performer, whether you're performing in front of 10,000, 100,000 people or 2 people. You're there, and people are looking at you as an example. And one of the things that Carlos is describing here is that struggle between being that creative artist serving the Lord and also people looking at you as the one who is the one. And you want to be able to, I learned something from a dear mentor of mine about this great word called humility. You ready?
Never heard of it. I'm just kidding.
So this is the challenge. Knowing that you have the power and it comes through you, not from you.
Come on, yeah.
That's what you said. By the way, Alexa, I have to tell you something. I made an acronym for your name. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
Okay. Alexa, ALEXA. Awakening love, enthusiastic exuberance, always.
Yes, I love
Awakening love, enthusiastic exuberance, always. That is Alexa.
that. I love
right?
that. You know, I agree. I feel like, I don't know. I really do feel like I am living my purpose There are so many things that I know that the Lord is growing me into, but I found out a few years ago that Alexa means the origin of it means protector of men, and I feel that so deeply in my heart. I have felt such a need to like just share joy with people the way you share joy, but as a way to protect humans, like to protect their hearts, to shield them from defender.
I
Oh, sorry,
defender,
defender, but it's still protector. Like,
yes.
like I just feel it so much in my heart of just being called to just share that joy.
So
that
do you see how you're so aptly named? Now, by the way, I'm going to give you another one. Share is what you do. SHARE, right?
Mhm.
Spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy.
Come
Mm.
on. I
Isn't
just
that
need,
great?
you have a book of your acronyms. I need all of these buried.
Yeah. How did you know? I published 4 books last year. One of them was a book of acronyms. That
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay, you have to share this with us because we all, not just us, everybody listening, we all need to buy this book right now because they are gems.
People love it. It's great. But okay, so let's continue. So this is wonderful. The ability to be on stage and know that you're a channel, what we call a cog. Interesting enough, you'll like this one also. So a cog, people think of a big machine, a little piece in that's a cog, right? So you think insignificant. No. When you understand what a cog is, you realize how big it is. Cog stands for channel of goodness, child of God.
I love that.
There is no such thing as an irrelevant piece in a machine. The machine can't work without each one of us. And each one of us is called to the light. And that's why you perform. That's why you do this, right?
I've never even heard of the word cog. So this is, I'm like looking it up right now.
It's like a funky little shape.
Yeah, COG. You'll love it. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's literally a cog.
Yeah. So you said something and I agree with it, but we're all.
You agree with Barry?
I agree with a lot of
Barry.
But I want to go back to it because talking about how like everybody is somebody, everybody is a celebrity in their own way. Like I know that sounds kind of weird, but I want to go into everybody has a platform. I look at somebody who is a bagger at a grocery store. That person has the opportunity to meet so many people in one day. So many people. Think of how many people that person can interact with and love on and just plant a seed of hope and joy like into the person he's like bagging groceries or somebody like at the movie theater like stamping tickets or whatever it is. Like I just feel like if you have a job for anybody with any job truly, but if you have a job where you are constantly meeting people and a lot of people every single day, you have a huge platform.
Yeah, I had a
thank you, Alexa.
No. But to piggyback on that, I had this moment where, you know, I do these meet and greets where I meet hundreds, thousands of people, right, every single day where they come in, they stand with us, they go, they come in. Listen, I'm the dad who's been married to my wife for 10 plus years. Like, I'm not the heartthrob of the group, right? I'm the guy who's taken. I'm the goofy guy that wore the helmet on the TV show. I'm not like, you know, Mr. You know, sexy boy. But what was that bad? Sexy boy is bad? Sexy boy, we can't say that?
No. It's funny.
No, but you know, we would meet, you know, 1,000 people in a day, and you know, no one's coming up going, "Oh my gosh, Carlos!" It's always like, "Oh, hey, it's so great to meet you," right? Because I just don't have that. And I used to get kind of bothered by it. I was like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, and let me tell you, out of those 1,000 people, I'd have one person come in and go, "Hey, your book brought me closer to my faith." And I had to shift my perspective. I was like, dude, like regardless, that's the mission.
Right.
Like regardless if in 1,000 people, only, you know, 5 of them, 10 of them, 100 of them were Carlos girls, right? I had this one person come in and say, "Yo, that book you did changed my life." And it's like, dude, that's amazing.
Well, the other part is just your flesh.
Yes,
wanting
exactly.
that validation.
And it's fighting that flesh and going, God, what is it that you like this is for you, not for me.
Okay, on that wonderful note, let's talk about 2 things. One, living in Tennessee, because you're outside of Hollywood. in New York. Okay, but it is what it is. And we'll touch upon the Salvation Army a little bit. I want to hear about Tennessee. When did you decide to move to Tennessee?
Oh,
That was a God move
Yeah.
right there.
how far back do we go?
Okay, first,
Cliff notes?
we'll do a quick, very, very quick version. We were living in Hawaii for the last 7 years.
I was going to start
Wait
before
a minute. Hawaii is not a bad place to live either.
No, it's not. So first we were in California,
Hold
had
on.
a major shift.
I think we need to give the people a quick 2-minute cliff note.
My angel, go for it.
Here we go.
Go.
Alexa was married before me. End of story. No, I'm kidding. She was married before me. We end up, she goes through a divorce. I go through a really dark period in my life. We end up meeting at a Bible study. We were both very, very broken. Met at this Bible study. Our best friend now invited us. He was kind of the guy that got us together. We end up starting our life together. Although she played very hard to get. We end up starting our life together. We buy a house in California. The house ends up being a complete disaster. We got in this huge lawsuit for many, many, many years. We were living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make it all work. Our church that we were with asks us to do a Bible study. I was someone who loved things, and I didn't want people around my things, in my house, touching my things. I had this love of things. Alexa really was pushing this Bible study. Our house goes into this faulty lawsuit build. Everything starts falling apart. It's a disaster. We have leaks. We have this. She asked one more time, can we do this Bible study? Of course, I say, screw it. Yes, do the Bible study. Why not? Our house is a mess anyways. So we do this Bible study for a year. Completely changes our life.
Changes your heart.
Changes my heart completely. I don't care about these things. Even though the house is falling apart, we're like, dude, we have this community that we're building, and community. So jump to a few years later, we have our first kid, and we are just feeling stuck. And I say, Alexa, can we move to Hawaii? And she says, yes. And when your wife says yes to moving to Hawaii, you don't look back, Barry. You just go.
Wait a minute. Big bravo. You're right.
You just go. Well, we're still in this bind. We are struggling financially, but we have this house. We're in this lawsuit. We have this newborn. We're a little stressed, but we say, let's move to Hawaii. So we go. So we take a trip. We find a house. We convince someone to work with us and sell us this house and give us a big timeline and hold some of the financing. And we're like, God is totally in this. How is this working? We then spend a year in Hawaii. And Alexa, my wife, loves to pray in the shower, Barry, and God talks to her in the shower. Every time she takes a shower, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? She gets in the shower. She comes out. She goes, God told me something. He said, he's already paid us back. Let's let that house go. Let's cancel. Let's get out of the lawsuit and let's give the house back to the builder. And I said, my justice seeking heart said, no, we're fighting for our money. We he screwed us. No. She said, babe, God paid us back already. I don't know what that means, but he told me he already paid us back. So we end up walking away. We lost every penny we ever poured into that house. But the freedom that we got from listening, and the reason I go back all this way is the freedom that we got from listening to the call right when we were called was like you can't put a price on that.
And doors started opening.
And doors just started opening the second we listened to what God had for us. So I had to get to that point. So then COVID happens. We are stuck on Maui. I beg Alexa. I said, another crazy idea. Can we buy a boat? And she said, yes. So when your wife tells you that you can buy a boat.
But 5 years prior, he asked to buy a boat. And I said, no.
And she said, no. This time she said, yes. So like any, what did I tell you? I said that my mental was at 20. Let's say I was at 17, 18 at the time. Like any 17 or 18-year-old, we sold an appreciating asset for a depreciating asset. and we buy this boat. We have it in Florida, and we're fixing it up with this dream of sailing the world. I felt like God was calling us to buy the boat so we could sail the world. Well, little did I know he had other plans. We never left the dock, Barry. 2 years, we never left the dock. And he starts showing us all of these things, and well, we get to the end of 2023, And I'm like, we're leaving the dock December 15th. Babe, it's finally happened. We got all of this to this point. Well, we lost an engine. And in a catamaran, that's probably the worst thing you could lose because you need 2 engines, right? So we have to cut the boat open. It was a whole mess. It was very expensive. Now I'm stressed to the max. And to put that on the top, my wife goes and takes a shower. And you know what happens when she goes and takes a shower. She starts hearing from God. So she comes out and she's like, babe, I was talking to God and I feel like he's calling us to just go drive up to Tennessee. And I'm like, this is what? So I start praying.
Wait a minute. Okay, just to unpack something.
Yeah.
How did you even think of Tennessee?
Well, first God called me when I was praying to move, and I wasn't 100% sure what that meant. So I kept praying into it. I was like, God, do you want me to move? Is this like physically, like I need to move my body more? Are you calling us to move locations? Like, help me understand, move. So I shared that with Carlos. So then he started praying into, okay, God, you're calling us to move.
What does this mean? Yeah.
And then together we both collectively were like, Tennessee? Like, we've never even thought of Tennessee. Why Tennessee, Lord? But we're 100% people.
Yeah.
So when God calls us to something, we don't to wait.
After the letting the house go and, losing all that money, but feeling that freedom.
We don't hesitate anymore.
We don't hesitate anymore. We're like, okay, God, you want us here?
Let's go.
Let's go.
So we literally drove up that night.
It was New Year's Eve. We threw the kids in the car. We're in Florida.
Wait a minute, the New Year's Eve of 2023 or 24?
23. So we threw the kids in the car. We drove up. We called a friend who we knew lived up here. Their parents just happened to be out of town for that weekend, so we could stay in their house. So it was like, okay, that worked out.
We didn't even know why we were driving here, Barry. We weren't sure if, like, are we renting a place? Are we supposed to live in 2 places?
Yeah.
Is our home here? Like, we didn't even know why we were coming here.
And we ended up calling my ex-girlfriend from college.
Who's a good friend of mine.
I said,
oh, wait a minute. This is too much fun. I love it.
Cassie, it's Carlos. She's like, hey, she's married with kids now. And I said, I'm driving to Tennessee right now. And she's like, what? It's like, would you be able to show us just some rentals for fun, just so we can see what's available?
What's out there?
Just so we can get a feel for it. So we spent 4 days up here, and it went from like rentals, maybe we buy small house, we want some land, bigger house. How can we afford this? This is crazy. And we ended up driving back that night. I know this is a long story, but it's going to get great.
This 2-minute
version. But hold on. No, but I feel like everyone needs to understand the process of why we make these decisions. Because anyways, so we end up driving back on that, fifth night. And I get the most random text from a friend of mine who's a sailing YouTube channel.
He has no idea we're in
Tennessee. They have a family. He has no idea we're in Tennessee. And he goes, hey, Carlos, I got a family looking for a boat just like yours. Would you ever consider selling your boat?
Wait a minute. This is too much fun. F you, kids. F you. Capital N, capital N. This is too much fun. Wait a minute. So you said, I think only because I like you, I'll consider selling it.
Well, no, I said, this is crazy, but link him up with me. So he sends me up on WhatsApp. On the 12-hour drive, she's driving. I'm messaging the guy. I'm sending him photos of the boat. I'm like, just by chance, where do you live? He goes, oh, I live in Tennessee. And I'm like, get out of here. So then I'm like, dude, let me tell you what's going on right now. So we don't end up selling the boat to this guy. It ended up not working out.
But it was just confirmation.
But for a minute, we were like, do I trade you the boat for your house? And we just like, I'm like, this is like, God, what are you doing? But it was a great confirmation of like, God was showing. Believe it or not, I still asked God for another sign after that.
Oh, well, that's because Carlos, you don't shower enough. That's all.
Exactly. I need to take more showers. So we end up getting back to Florida, and 2 days later, our realtor calls us, my ex-girlfriend, and she goes, hey, I found this house. I'm going to go take video of it. It looks pretty promising. She takes a video. She calls me. She goes, I think if you lose this house, you're going to be very sad. And I'm like, holy wow, what is happening right now? So we literally get back in the car 2 days later, drive back to Tennessee. We walk the house. We're like, this is it. Okay, so now we got to sell the boat to make this happen. And God literally just made a way. And he found the right family that wanted the boat. We closed the boat. And February 26th, 26th of 24, we moved into our house here in Tennessee. So we're almost coming up on a year. And Barry, let me just finish with this. Like, God knew what he was doing because Alexa was pregnant at the time with our fourth child, Indy. I had been pushing us to go back to Hawaii, and Alexa didn't feel comfortable. Our house, it's behind where all the fires were, and she was worried about the air quality and all this stuff. And I thought she was crazy. Turns out she wasn't. So folks at home, listen to your wife.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm married 47 years. Number one rule.
Just
She's right.
Listen to the wife.
You're always right.
Well,
even when she isn't, by the way, she's always right.
Always right.
Sometimes he's right.
Sometimes, thank you. The one thing that we did not have in Tennessee, in Hawaii, was a really great community. We had a community, but not the community that we would have needed had we known what was coming. And we moved here the end of February, and it was April 7th? No. April 7th. April 7th. Yeah, because it makes sense. April 7th of 24, Alexa goes into labor, and we end up losing our fourth child.
No, April 7th, we went to church. We found our church.
When was Indy's?
April 13th.
That's what it is. I'm so sorry. Let me rewind, Barry.
April 7th.
Okay.
April 7th, we go to this church that we got invited to, and it was beautiful. And they're just they thrive on community. They're just like, the culture that they're trying to create is community, and we've never experienced that kind of love.
It's always kind of just been sit down, listen to this, and then
peace out. But this community, it was so special. A week later, she goes into labor, April 13th of 24. We lose baby Indy. It was a stillbirth. We had a heartbeat 2 minutes before, and when she came out, there was just no life. And for us, we were in a new place. We had no furniture. Like, it was just like, what is happening? And all of this is going on. And I tell Alexa that night after it happened, I was like, how are you feeling? She's like, I feel like we need to go to church tomorrow and worship. I said, you want to go to church? We just had like the most heart-wrenching thing ever in our life.
And she said, that's why I want to be in church.
And that's why we want to go to church.
I want to go thank God. And when you said earlier, gratitude, it is everything. Because even in your worst place you could ever possibly be in, gratitude heals so much.
Yeah.
Just pause for a moment.
It's a cliffhanger here. It's a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I want to tell you what happens at church. So after
this brief bet, don't go away. There's more Alexa and Carlos. Enjoy right on the other side of this break. Be right back.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because I was looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Two amazing, dynamic, beautiful, loving, caring people, Alexa and Carlos Penavega. And we're talking about real life, talking about how life happens and what you do to go with it, and working in tandem, husband and wife and children. And there is no place and time that is not yours directly from the good Lord. Wherever you are in the world right now, just know that you're here for a mission and a purpose, and you're listening to mission-driven people right now. By the way, Carlos, with your permission, I created an acronym for your name. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
CARLOS, right? Creating awareness, resilience, living openly, successfully.
Come on.
Dang,
I
you
love
are just
that.
filling me up today.
I feel like you do live very openly.
Okay, so we're on the edge. Alexa has given stillbirth.
Yes.
Fourth child, not here with us anymore. And she says, let's go to
church.
worship.
Yeah,
Because
and I
that's
thought she was crazy, Barry.
well, she is in the most wonderful way.
In the best ways.
But we show up to church that next day. Nobody knew us. This was our second time at this church, you know. And I remember the worship was kind of set up like in the center, in the round type of thing. And Alexa and, you know, the kids are up in kids club, and Alexa and I are in the center, and we're holding each other and we're worshiping, and we're just bawling, and our eyes are closed. And I just felt these hands around us. And I look around, I open my eyes, and the entire church is surrounding us. Like everybody. Nobody knows us. No one knows what went down, but everyone just sensed that there was something, and like something was
They didn't
needed.
know, but they knew.
But they knew. And I just closed my eyes, and it almost felt like we were just being held. Like we were sitting there like this, and then we just got picked up, and it was like, huh.
Yeah.
And you could just like lean back and be held. And we worshiped and we cried, and like I'll never forget that experience. I think somebody even has like a video.
John took a picture of it.
Oh, John was there. Yes.
Yeah, I have a picture.
And John, our best friend John, who flew out the second he found out what happened. I mean, you know, I think in times of, what would you call that? Like
distress.
Distress. I mean, just when the unthinkable happens, the people that show up for you, you really like. I don't know. It
created a bond in a way unlike any other. I mean, a bond with the church, with every member that was there that day, a bond with the people who did fly out to just come out.
Yeah.
I
mean, Cassie,
with, you know,
Cassie,
the doctors,
hold on, Cassie, my ex.
Yeah.
She had a baby shower planned that next day.
Yeah.
And she had all these balloons made that said, like she went Alexa, I blame me for my past, but she's never had a big baby shower. So this was supposed to be the big baby shower. And I just calling all these people and telling them what happened. I felt badly because, you know, especially for Cassie, because she had put all this effort in this baby shower. And her response was like, I don't care about this. It was like 4 a.m. She's like, I'll be right there.
Yeah. She was actually the first person to show up.
She left her family, left her kids, showed up.
Watch the kids.
And just to see people, we are those people for so many people.
To see them show up.
And to see people show up for you, it finally just like opened my eyes, and I was like, dude, we're not alone. Mm-mm. Like you do. God was like, you have community.
You have great community.
You have great community. And that was I think for 2024, that was our word, was community. It was build that community. And Tennessee has given us that. To go back to your question from 20 minutes ago, Tennessee has given us that.
Whenever Carlos says it'll be quick, that should know you. It's literally the opposite of that.
Yes, but come on.
Every time
the story.
Like, it'll be quick. I'm like,
but the story. If
right.
I just said there's so much great community in Tennessee, now you know where we came from 12 years ago, from that house that we lost all of our money in. That we and you know what? There may be people who are listening who can relate to where you feel stuck. Yeah. You feel stuck for years. You're like, I'm never gonna get out of this. We had to change our perspective. We had to trust in God, and we had to let go. And that's the hardest thing to do. Yeah. So I think knowing our story, that we were there and that we had to let go. And then once we let go, we learned that when he calls, you go.
Yeah.
Letting go. I mean, that boat, Barry, was I wanted that boat since I was 13 years old. I wanted to sail the world, and I finally got it, and I never left the dock.
That's such a great opening line.
I wanted it.
Never left the dock. And now the rest of the book for the next 200 pages. This is fabulous. Let go and let God. Woo! I love it. Thank you.
I'm done talking for the rest of the podcast. My wife can talk now.
No, it was so good.
Oh, that was it's fabulous, actually. Let's speak just a little bit about the Salvation Army, because that's how we met.
Yes.
And I am deeply honored to be involved with them and helping them, as are you. How did you come to the Salvation Army?
Salvation Army has been a part of my life for years and years. Growing up, my mom ended up being a single mom with 3 kids. So I feel like we lived in the Salvation Army. We were always in one of their thrift stores. This particular one in California furnished our entire home. That I would wear all my clothes from Salvation Army. It was just such a part of my life. So then anytime there were times to like give back or any sort of food drives or donations or anything, we would just always go back to this Salvation Army. And then I think we're all familiar with the bell ringers and the red kettles. That was just something that a lot of us experienced. But as I got older, we had the opportunity to see them work on hand after some of the hurricanes. Particularly, I can't remember what hurricane it was, but it was a hurricane that ripped through Florida. And we had the opportunity to go volunteer with the people afterwards. And we took our kids because we believe in teaching our kids service and showing them how to give back. But I'm not going to lie, that was really crazy driving through an area that's just been completely torn apart. And then what I love about Salvation Army is they don't just provide meals. They provide so much emotional support for the people. I can't tell you how many different beautiful people who came through who we just like prayed over and loved on, that we cried with, that it just, as much as giving back is wonderful for the people who are receiving things, your heart gets so much from giving, like so much. We grew from that experience a lot. And that was our first real experience volunteering with Salvation Army. And since then, we've been able to really go behind the scenes with them and see how much they do. And we were not aware of the magnitude that Salvation Army is. I mean, they have incredible homeless shelters all over the place. We visited the Maybe Center in near Dallas, Texas, and the amount of families that they try to restore to get back into their homes, so that way they're not solely reliant on this system, but to help, like, what is it when they just like just basically help them get back on their feet. Salvation Army is just, they're incredible, and they're the real deal. There are a lot of different charities out there, and I'm not 100% sure about all of them, but I can tell you, watching them work and being behind the scenes and seeing the hearts of the people who are running Salvation Army, like, they're the real deal.
Yeah.
I thank you so much for that.
Now, we haven't met the new commissioners yet, but
commanders,
new commanders. Haven't met them yet, but I hear they're great.
But Kenny Boy,
Mr.
Kenneth Hodder and Jolene, they are
the
special.
sweetest.
I love them so much.
Yeah, tremendous organization, tremendous people, and your testimony just now was wonderful. I'm sorry to use the words I'm about to say. We're coming to a close on our time together. But wait. So I have 3 quick questions for you.
Please.
Are you ready? 3
I'm ready.
questions. Number 1, will you come back again?
Oh, of course. Are you kidding? We get so much wisdom from you. We need to come back.
YES.
Whoa! Thank you. Okay, kids. You have only 80 seconds to answer, and maybe each one of you can do this one on your own. You want to do it together. What is your most fervent desire?
To lead people to God. To lead people to God. That's my
biggest
desire.
And I'll piggyback that I want to do it through content. I really want to make kingdom-hearted content that leads people to God. And I don't want to be preachy and be like, oh, geez. I want people to watch. Like, I meet people like you, Barry, and I go,
you have peace.
There's something about him, and I want it. It's like he's so, like, he just feels so good just to be around. And the guy who brought me to the church, Andrew, who introduced us, he sold me a house. He was a realtor, and then I didn't really talk to him for a year. And when I was at my lowest of lows, I opened my phone, I looked at my phone book, and I said, who am I going to call? And you know why I called Andrew? I called Andrew because he was always happy, and he was so joyful to be around, and it felt good to be around him. And I called him and I said, why are you so happy? And I think if we have more people like you and like Andrew in this world, you plant that seed just by being who you are.
Seed of joy. They're
going to come around and they're going to see that joy, and eventually they're going to go, hey, listen, I have tried everything. Why are you so happy?
Yeah, we love joy. joy.
And we can do that through content.
Absolutely.
And I'm just, that's my fervent desire is to
And number
make
3.
content that brings people joy.
Okay, number 3 question. Let me do. I was supposed to do something and I didn't do it. Let me do this. 1 second. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to. Are you ready now? 3rd question. Can I give you a hug in front of 1,200 people around the world?
I would love that.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this.
I remember
1, 2, 3.
Heartfelt unlimited giving.
And of course, you're listening to The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, and amazing, wonderful Alexa and fabulous Carlos. Remember, this show is not about Alexa and Carlos, great people that they are. Not about Barry Shore, nice fellow that he is. It's about you. YOU, you becoming the best you possible, as they just said, because when you're the best you make the world a better place. You bring more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world, and everybody needs that. Remember, we talk about the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, your life has purpose, right? You lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens, you go mad. Mad stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life and make a difference in the world. And the 3rd is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms like WWW. What a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Or as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. And create the kind of world you want to live in, just like Alexa and Carlos. Causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. You want to shift your perspective. Remember, keep that F in place, or the other stuff happens. And when you do that, you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn, which are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond. Listening when the good Lord speaks. Choose to respond. It shows you your pathway and your trajectory. Use 4-letter words. Of course, the words we use could live in the world of positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant are love, life, hope, play, pray, swim, gift, and tell the world to F you, capital N, capital N. That way you get their attention. You can share with them all these wonderful experiences and ideas that are truly enable you to move your heart. And we have a blessing coming from Alexa, Carlos, and Barry. May I give the blessing? You ready?
Give the blessing, please.
Go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Kids, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.